Shashi and welcome to the second part of the political science chapter, Federalism. In this class, I'm going to discuss two topics, that is, what makes India a federal country and how is federalism practiced in India. So let's start with the first one. What makes India a federal country? In this, we are going to discuss some of the features of Indian government that makes India a federal country. Number one is India has three levels of government, that is central government, state government and local government. Central government look after the entire country, whereas state government look after one particular state and local government look after the villages and the city area. So before we have only central government and state government. Later, the local government was introduced to make the overall administration more effective. We have three levels of government and the power of each level of government are written in the Constitution. Constitution of India has clearly divided the power between the central government and the state government into three lists. These three lists are Union list, state list and concurrent list. Union list refers to those subjects or refers to those area or those matters which are of national importance. It is important to the entire country. So these subjects need a uniform law on this. So because of that, central government has only the power to make a law on this. Union list consists of 100 lists or consists of 100 subjects. These are some of the examples of union lists are defense. When it comes to the defending our country, when it comes to protecting our country, the central government has the power to make a law on this because these deal with the entire countries. And foreign affairs, right? When it comes to making a relation or when it comes to keeping a relation with the other countries, these powers lies in the hand of the central government because it deals with the entire country. Right? Okay. Currency and coinage. Currency means making a new currency, making a new coin. All these decisions lies in the hand of the central government because currency and coin deals with the entire country. Just like this, we have few more example or few more lists in the union list. War and peace, banking, railway, foreign trade, ports, communication, post and telegraph, airways. So these are the lists which comes under the union list. Overall, in union list, we have 100 lists. And all these 100 lists comes under the central government. And central government has the power to make law on this. Second one is state list. State list consists of those subjects which is important to the state and local. Local means we are talking about the city area and the village area. So these are important only to a state and the cities and the villages. So because of that, the state government has the power to make law or the state government has power to make decision on this list. State list consists of 59 lists or a subject. Few examples of state lists are police, trade, prison, local government, public health, liquor, animal husbandry. Animal husbandry means animal domestication. When it comes to the animal domestication, state government has power to make law or state government has power to make decision on this. And land. So these are the area or these are the subject which falls under the state list. And the last one is concurrent list. Concurrent list consists of 52 subject or 52 lists. These include a subject which is equally important to the union government and the state government. So these include a subject which are of common interest of both the union government and the state government. Since these subjects are important both to the union government and the state government, both the government has the power to make law. Sometimes there is a conflict exists between the two government, that is central government and state government, while making law on that particular subject. Then what happens is that central government decision will be taken or central government has made the law, that law will be taken into consideration. So concurrent list consists of 52 subjects which are importance equally to the central government and the state government. Concurrent list consists of this: education, forest, prevention of cruelty to animals, trade union, population control and family planning, drugs and poison. So these are some of the examples of the subject of the concurrent list. And we have another one, that is residuary subject. So residuary subject consists of those area or those subject that do not fall in any of the three lists, that is union list, state list and the concurrent list. So residuary subject are those subject or area which came after the constitution was written. Example like computer. So computers are the modern technologies, and computer softwares that came up after the constitution was made or constitution was wrote, right? So since computer software does not exist when Indian constitution was written, so it was not able to include it in that. So because of that, now another subject was written for those area which has come after the constitution was written. So union government has power to make law on this subject, residuary subject. So that is all about the division of power between the central government and the state government by the Constitution of India. Fourth feature is that India is a holding together federation. In the earlier classes we discussed about two roots of federation, that is holding together and coming together. In that two features, India is a holding together federation because in India the state government are more powerful than the state government. Not only that, all the state government do not have equal power. Some states have more power, or some states have special power, or some states do not have much power, right? Some state which has more powers are Jammu and Kashmir in India. Now Jammu and Kashmir does not exist. Before, Jammu and Kashmir has a special power unlike the other states in India. Not only that, in India there are some territories which enjoy a very little power. These are union territories. Union territories are those territories which do not have their own government. These territories are ruled by the central government. These territories are controlled by the central government directly. So these union territories are Lakshadweep, Andaman and Nicobar Island, we have Delhi, we have Pondicherry, right? Before we have 7 union territories, right? Now we have 9 union territories, right? That is Jammu and Kashmir, a new 2 territories, right? Okay, so here these territories, under these territories, the central government has a directly control over them. Number 5 is that the parliament. When we talk about parliament, we are talking about the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. As we have discussed earlier in the first chapter, parliament refers to the law-making body, right? Parliament cannot on its change the power sharing arrangement, as we have already discussed about the union list, state list and the concurrent list, right? So these are the power sharing arrangement which are made by the Indian constitution, right? So this cannot be changed by the parliament alone. If any changes has to be made in this list, this has to be made by both the houses of parliament. So it need to be made by both the houses of parliament, that include Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, at least 2/3 majority. There should be a 2/3 majority from both the houses, and then they should be ratified. Ratified means there should be agreement by the legislature of half of the total states. So not only the 2 houses of parliament need to agree, at the same time the state legislature, right? We have law-making body at the state level also. So all the state legislature, almost half of the total state, need to give the agreement on this. Half of the total state means in India now we have 28 states, right? So which means there should be a more than 24 states have to agree with this. Only then the parliament can change the power sharing arrangement in the constitution. Next one is the judiciary play a very important role in the implementation of constitutional provision and procedure, right? So we have lots of rules and regulation provided in the constitution, right? All these are implemented. All these are looked by the judiciary. So judiciary play a very important role. Judiciary checked whether the peoples are following the law and order properly or not, whether the rules and regulations are implemented properly or not. So these task or this responsibility lies in the hand of the judiciary, right? Okay, under judiciary, Supreme Court act as an umpire in any dispute arise between the central government and state government, right? So sometimes central government and state government engage into a conflict. At that time, the Supreme Court act as an umpire. So Supreme Court act as a middleman between these two governments. So Supreme Court try to resolve the problem between the central government and the state government. Number 7 is that the union and state government have the power to raise money, right? So union and the state government need a money to run the government. For that, they have the power to raise money, or they have power to raise fund by imposing tax, so that they can carry out their responsibility effectively. So that is all about the features of Indian government that makes Indian government a federal one, because all the features of federalism are exist in the Indian government. Now we can say that India is a federal government. Okay, we have now discussed the constitutional provision in India, and we can see that the features of federalism now applies to the provisions of Indian constitution. So we can say that India is federal country now. Not only that, we have also discussed the various power sharing arrangement between central government and state government into three lists, that is union list, state list, and concurrent list. So to make it more clear, I have come up with few situations here, and we are going to discuss who has the power to make decisions, or who has the power to make law regarding this particular situation. Number 1 is launching of new 5 rupees currency. So here we are talking about starting a new 5 rupees currency in India. So who has the power to take this decision, or who have the power to make law regarding this? So when we are talking about currency list subject comes under the union list, which means the central government have the power to start a new 5 rupees currency, or to take decisions regarding launch of new currency. Second one is ban on hunting or stop on hunting. So we are talking about hunting here. So here we are talking about, like stopping on cruelty to animals. So cruelty to animals subject comes under the concurrent list, which means the central government and state government both have the power to make decision on this. Third one is Hum Do Hamara Ek policy to control the population. So the population of India is increasing day by day. So the government has planned to make a one policy, that is Hum Do Hamara Ek. So which government has the power to make this policy? Is it a central government or is it a state government? Here we are talking about the population. So population subject or list comes under the concurrent list, which means central government and state government both have the power to make decisions regarding this. Ban on selling of narcotic drugs. Here we are talking about stop on selling of narcotic drugs. Because of the narcotic drugs, it lead to the destruction of large number of families, right? So there is a topic going on, like there is a discussion going on, ban on selling of narcotic drugs. So to do so, who has the power to, to make decisions on this? Here we are talking about drugs or medicines. So the drugs and medicines subject comes under the concurrent list, which means both the central government and the state government have power to take decisions regarding this. And next one is waging war against China. So fighting a wars against China. So which government has the power to take decisions regarding this? So when we talk about war or of peace, this list or this subject comes under the union list, which means fighting a war against China, whether we should fight a war against China or not, these decisions can be taken only by the central government. Okay, and then operation of airways during the COVID-19 crisis. So the decisions on the operation of airway during the COVID-19, who has the power to take decisions whether the airway should be operated or not operated, right? Okay, so airway is a subject which comes under the central government, right? Or sorry, union list, right? It comes under the central list, which means the central government has the power to take decisions regarding this. And then last one, setting up of new hospital in Andhra Pradesh. So here we are talking about setting up a new hospital in Andhra Pradesh. We are talking about one particular state, right? So here since we are talking about one particular state, so this included in the state list. So here the Andhra Pradesh state's government has the power to make decisions on setting up of new hospital here in Andhra Pradesh. So that is some of the examples of distributions of power between the central government and the state government. Okay, now I have come up with few more situations here, and you are going to go through this situation and you are going to analyze this, and you are going to find out which government has the power to take decisions or to make law regarding this particular situation. So this is for the homework and you are going to do by yourself. Okay, now the next topic that we are going to discuss is about how is federalism practiced in India. So Indian federalism is of great success. It is mainly not because of India's have a good rules and regulations laid down in the constitution. It is mainly because of India federalism was put into practice. So this was put into practice through three things. These are formation of linguistic state. Second one is language policy adopted by the constitution. Third one is the central and state relations were restructured. So these are the three practices which made the Indian federalism a stronger and a more popular one. So let's discuss one by one. Formation of state on the basis of language. So when India got independence in 1947, at that time the internal boundaries of the country was totally different. And it was totally different after the 1947. So after 1947, the internal boundaries of the states of India were recreated or redrawn on the basis of mostly on the language, common language. So let's discuss here. Formation of linguistic states. So when India got independence in 1947, at that time there was a demand for state on the basis of common language. These demands were made because people feel that the same language spoken people can live in the same states. When this demand was first made, at that time some national leader feared that the formation of state on the basis of language will disintegrate the country or will partition the country. So, keeping this fear in their mind, they did not fulfill this demand for a long time. But after lots of discussion and after lots of thinking, finally the national leader decided to form a new state on the basis of common language. So because of that, the boundary of several old states of India were changed in order to create a new state on the basis of common language. So the first state which was formed on the basis of common language in India was Andhra Pradesh, and Andhra Pradesh state was formed on 1st October 1953. Andhra Pradesh was previously part of the bigger state called Madras. Madras consists of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Later what happened is that after 1947, the Telugu speaking in this region demanded a separate state for themselves. So because of that, the government of India created a new state that is Andhra Pradesh for the Telugu speakers. Since there is a demand coming from the other regions of the India creating a state on the basis of common language, finally the government of India set up or they formed State Reorganization Commission or State Reorganization Committee. This committee main responsibility is to redraw the internal boundaries of India. So this State Reorganization Commission redraw the internal boundaries of India mostly on the basis of common language. Since then, Other states like Orissa, Maharashtra, Gujarat, all these were formed on the basis of common language. The formation of state on the basis of the language has made the country more united in the end. But all the states in India are not created on the basis of common language. There are some states which are formed on the basis of common culture and common geography. The name of these states are Nagaland, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. So these are the states which are not formed on the basis of common language. These are based on the basis of common culture and common geography. So that is all about the formation of state on the basis of language. This is called linguistic states. Coming to the next one, that is language policy adopted by the Constitution of India. So, our constitution does not give a status of national language to any one languages in our country. We have more than 500 languages spoken in India, but we do not have a one language which is called national language. Every other country have their own national language, but we India do not have any national language. That is because we do not have a single language which is spoken by majority of the population, which is spoken by more than the half of the population. So because of that, our constitution does not give a national language status to any one languages in India. Hindi is the most popular language used in India, but it is spoken only by 40% of population of India, which is mean less than half of the population. So because of that, Hindi cannot be the national language of India. So because of that, Hindi was instead recognized as the official language. Official language are those language which is used for the common administration of the government. And Hindi is the official language. At the same time, even English language was used as the official language. So the official language of India was Hindi and English. Besides Hindi, there are other 21 languages which is recognized by the Constitution of India, and these languages are known as scheduled language. So scheduled language are those languages which are accepted or which are recognized by the Constitution of India. So the 22 scheduled languages of India are Assamese, Bengali, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Mithili, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Uriya, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Santali, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu. So these are the scheduled languages of India. Why these languages are selected? Because these languages are mostly spoken by the people of India. So the advantage of the scheduled language of India is that if a person is participating in a examination conducted by the central government, that candidate can write in any of these two languages, or that candidate can choose any of these 22 languages to write the examination. Not only the central government has its own official language, even the state government has their own official language. Every state has their own official language. Okay, and these official language are used for running the government, or it is used for their workplace. Example, for the Karnataka state, Kannada is the official language. In terms of Jammu and Kashmir state, Urdu is their official language. Like the same voice, we have other states in India, and these two other states have their own official language. What happened here is that in 1965, the Constitution has declared that the use of English as an official language will be stopped from 1965. But this was totally opposed by the southern part of the India, that is mainly non-Hindi speaking states. They demanded that the use of English as an official language should be continued. Especially in Tamil Nadu, a violent movement took place against these measures taken by the government of India. Because of that, the central government finally agreed to use English with Hindi for the official language. Okay, and even though the English and Hindi will be used as official language, but the promotion or spread of Hindi continues to be the official policy of the government of India. Government will always try to spread the Hindi language, but it doesn't mean that the government of India will force the other non-Hindi speaker to speak the Hindi. So that is all about the language policy of India. And the third one is center-state relation, right? Okay, so the center-state relation has restructured. Restructure means it has reorganized. Okay, because of that, it has strengthened or it has made the federalism in practice more powerful. For a very long time, since from the independence, for a very long time, the same party ruled both at the center in most of the states. So for a very long time, since from the independence, for a very long time, the same party ruled both at the center at the state level also. Because of that, state government did not get power to exercise their right. So they did not exercise their right as an independence. So the state government always walk after the central government because central government and the state government is run by the same party, and that same party is Indian National Congress Party. So Indian National Congress Party became very important, or this is the party that ruled in India for lots of years, for a long period. When the ruling party at the state levels was different, the party at the central level always tried to control the power of the state. Sometimes what happened is that when the central government is ruled by the Indian National Congress, in some state this government is run by the other party. At that time, what happened is that central government always try to control the power of the state. So these lead to the non-sharing of power, right? Okay. So what happened here is that in those early days, the central government always misused the constitution to dismiss the state government. So in order to abolish or in order to destroy the state government, the central government always used to misuse the constitution, because at that time in those days the constitution was not really strong. Because of that, these undermine the spirit of federalism. So these destroy the basic features of federalism, right? Okay. What happened is that this situation does not remain in India for a long time. All these changes after the 1990s. So what happened is that after 1990, there is a rise of regional party in many states of the country. So in many part of the states of the country, there was a rise or there was emergence of regional political party, or there is a rise of new political party in many states of the country. So because of that, since there is many party participating in the election, it has become impossible for one state to gain a majority vote. Because of that, in order to run the government, now the party has started making a group in order to form a majority, in order to gain the majority vote. So this started the year of coalition government at the center. So this is called coalition government. Coalition government means it is a grouping of one or two political party or more than two political party. They all have come together so that they can gain the majority vote. Once they gain the majority vote, they can form a government. So because of rise of regional political party in the many parts of the country, because of that, it has lead to a coalition government at the center. Because since no single party got a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, the major national party has to enter group into other parties, including several regional party, to form a government at the center. So through this, now the national party is trying to share power with other regional party. Before 1990, the national party never used to share power with the regional party, right? Now, because of rise of political party at the regional level, because of that, has become very difficult to get a majority vote. Because of that, now the national party try to form a group with the other like regional party to form a government at the center. This lead to a new culture of power sharing. So there is now power sharing, and it lead to the respect for the independence of state government. Now the state governments may respect it here. At the same time, the Supreme Court has made a judgment or has made a changes in the constitution that the central government cannot dismiss or cannot dismiss the state government in any arbitrary manner or in any on their own wishes, right? So because of that, the federal power sharing is more effective today than it was back in 1990s, right before 1990s. So because of the power sharing culture between the central government, central political parties, and the like regional political party has made the federalism more effective nowadays. So these are the three practices which has made the federalism a very popular or stronger or successful in India. So this is for the today's class, and I'll see you in the next class with the last topic, and then we will come to the end of the chapter federalism. Till then, stay safe.